Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very warm welcome for the final time this year to the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship. Tonight is the finals of Round 8 at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Two 10-minute races for both platforms, for both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Joining me tonight, I'm afraid to say Tom Davis will not be joining us tonight. He is otherwise engaged, but joining me, I do have the one, the only, Mr. Andy Elston. Andy, how on earth are you?
Absolute treat. We were treated to some fantastic racing across both the PlayStation and the Xbox platforms. This, of course, is the one we've all been waiting for. It is the finals, the last one in the Summer Championship. Still all to play for as well. Lots of positions that could be won or lost here. And David, I cannot wait for a cracking evening of racing.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's shaping up to be a very, very nice evening indeed. As you can hear, the cars are already on track. So let's get through the formalities and introduce you to your finalists tonight. Out on track then, we are supposed to have Finlay Brunton. However, we have no Finlay Brunton. He has been invited. I don't know what to say about that one. Darrell Adams, we've got Ryan Smith, Kieran Preedy, Andy Sedgley, Kenneth Brewster, Andrew McIlfride, Annie Butterworth, Thomas Comer, Kevin Barry, Stuart Anderson and Oliver Stewart. At the moment, Oliver Stewart and Finlay Brunton are the two that are not with us just now. It's looking like it's going to be an awesome night tonight, because of course it's all about the championship. So if I fire over the leaderboard now, I was a little bit confused through the week, because of course on the iRacing event we had a 60-minute race, and this is just back to our normal 2 10-minute races. So that means ultimately 50 points up for grabs tonight, Andy.
Yeah, 50 points up for grabs, and it's pretty tight as well. And third and fourth jumps out, David. Darrell Adams third on 154 points. Then you got Andrew McIlfride on 147, so not a lot between them as well. Stuart Anderson in there, Thomas Comer as well. So it's pretty tight across the board. But of course, the man at the top of the table, Kenny Brewster, 221 points. He's got a solid gap there over Ryan Smith. You just got to bring that car home, really, David, and he'll be crowned champion if all goes to plan for him.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long season. In fact, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mute the background audio for just now, just while we talk about the leaderboard, because obviously it's not just Kenny Brewster and Ryan Smith fighting it out. There are a lot of places that can be made up tonight from some of the drivers, and we've seen how intense the driving is through the season so far.
100%. There's so many drivers in there. I mean, the two that jump out for me here that are almost in false positions would be 6th place Thomas Comer and 7th place Annie Butterworth. Two very, very quick drivers, and you could argue that their performances across this whole season would merit being even higher up in the championship standings. So they're two certainly worth keeping an eye on as well. Annie Butterworth, very unfortunate not to get the race win in the qualifiers, I felt, during the week, David. Stuart Anderson's a quick driver as well, of course. Andrew McIlfride we've mentioned, but even further down as well, David, we've got Oliver Stewart, currently 10th place. He's in these finals. If he gets a good result, Haggis 117, of course, he could again be another one who could elevate his position with not long to go.
Yeah, so it is really all about tonight then. Round 8 of the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship. And also it would be a great chance to say a massive thank you to our series sponsors, to Torque Raceware, to Knockhill Racing Circuit, to the SMTA and to Track Scotland as well. They have been massive helps to get the series off the ground, and without them we would be very, very much poorer. But I think we are pretty much caught up. I think it's time to head over trackside. So we'll bring the stream back in and make sure everyone can hear, because it was a little bit deafening there, wasn't it?
Just a bit, yeah. These Genettas are very deceptive, aren't they? Because they look like kind of they almost look like normal road cars to some extent at first glance, but very, very loud. It's a Ford engine in those cars as well, I believe. But they certainly make a fair bit of noise. And if you were trackside A circuit near you, you would know all about it if one of them came flying past, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. So, we don't have any qualifying times in just now. In fact, I've just realised I can turn that down a wee bit there. That's better. Lovely. Right. So we've got Ryan Smith that we're currently watching just now, second place in the championship. It's all on his shoulders tonight, Andy, isn't it? He is the one that has to do all the work because, to be quite honest, all Kenny Brewster has to do is just cross the line.
Absolutely. And the thing with Kenny Brewster is we all know when he's crossing the line, he's going to be towards the top of the timesheets. You know, his consistency across this season has been absolutely fantastic. Ryan Smith, as you mentioned, yes, he's got the pressure on, but again, we know he is a driver that's more than capable of causing problems for Kenny and several other drivers across the board. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. But for me, it's not just that battle at the front, it is throughout the field. There's so many positions to be won or lost, and that means that this qualifying session is going to be absolutely crucial.
Yep, I think that's absolutely spot on there. We're seeing some times coming in already. Thomas Comer 228.628 as we see Kenny Brewster having lots of issues there coming across the line. That is going to invalidate, I think, his next lap potentially as well. And yeah, great stuff to see. Big shout out in the chat to Mark Abraham. He is wanting to give us his support for hashtag Need for Praed. He's obviously on board the Kieran Preedy hype train, and I've got to be honest, I've loved that. I've loved his supporters coming in here and being all vocal. That's been awesome. Including John Preedy, who's saying thanks to all concerned for putting this season together, been outstanding. Thank you so much, John. It's been so much fun for both myself and Andy to talk about the races, but from a technical point of view, it's been fun trying to just get the logistics of this championship up and running, and I hope that yeah, it started off in the spring championship where it was a bit of fun, and then obviously, Andy, they've paid to take part in this championship, and there's, oh my goodness me, somebody facing the wrong way at the top of Skyline. Oh, it's Kieran Preedy, the man himself, the man of the hour. Well, he's certainly doing his fan base no favours there. But yeah, so it started for a bit of fun in the spring championship where it was free, and then the summer one they had to pay to enter into it. And the idea was that it was a nominal fee just to try and weed out the troublemakers. And the amount of effort that went in and the preparation from all of the drivers from PlayStation, Xbox and on the PC just went through the roof. And yeah, I think all of the drivers can hold themselves very, very proud for the season that they've just had.
Definitely, and across that racing championship as well there, as you mentioned, speaking to Jordan Konkrowski for one of the recent SMRC Paddock Pass podcasts, and Jordan was talking a little bit about how he would set up the car in the iRacing championships and the process he would do to get the car ready. And he said it was very, very similar to what he would normally be doing for the Scottish Formula Ford 1600s. So the gap between real racing and the sim world is getting closer and closer, I feel. And this Project Cars console championships that we've had, again, seat time that the drivers have been putting in here has been incredible, and it's reflective in the lap times that we're seeing, because I feel the gaps that we've been watching, particularly in the Xbox Championship, have got very, very tight as well, and it's a testament to the effort of all the drivers, and it's been a brilliant championship to be a part of.
Yeah, and it's just been so much fun watching the different storylines developing through the season. Andrew McIlvright there decides to light up the timing screens there, 227.662, and he takes pole position from Thomas Comer. Thomas has thrown in the towel. He's in second place now, 228.628. Annie Butterworth is absolutely on a mission right now. She'll feel very, very hard done by, and she said as much in Messenger midweek. She's currently third position just now, but I'll tell you what, my eyes are on this man here, Kenny Brewster, currently down in 10th place and not having had a time set.
Certainly making life difficult for himself, David, absolutely. This is a lap that's got to count now, 25 seconds on the board. He won't get another run at it, but again, this is where the driver has a dilemma. Do they push all out? Of course they want to, but if he gets a couple of wheels wrong side of the curbs, he risks that lap time being invalidated once again, and that would mean that he is starting this race from the back of the pack. So pressure on here as we come down Skyline into the S's, and again, this is the really tricky part. Look at that Ginetta car at the front end. It was getting a little bit unsettled. Managed to get that car under control again, right round towards the back part of the lap now, and again, once he gets round Forest Elbow, gets onto that corner straight, then he can breathe a little bit, get the car settled down for the chase and into Murray's corner, and hopefully he'll be wanting a strong time up on the board.
Yeah, this is going to be his only shot at things right now. He's got a slower car up in front of him. 85 seconds he's got left to get across the line here. I think he's not going to have any problems whatsoever in actually getting the lap in. However, it's all been about track limits and keeping within, and we know how notoriously strict this game can be. He's looking very, very smooth and concise in that Ginetta GT5, and yeah, this is looking a very, very tidy run for Kenny Brewster. If not into pole position, I think easily he's going to be up into the top 5. We'll find out as he comes down into Murray's corner for the final time. Across the qualifying line goes Kenny Brewster. What can he do? He's going to be the last one. Kenny Brewster only manages 5th place, 2:29.028. Crucially, he's ahead of Ryan Smith.
Yeah, Ryan Smith, 6th place there with a 2:29.1. Certainly a surprising time to say the least. But the man that's put it on pole position, Andrew McIlvride, the one to watch here as well, of course, currently 4th in the championship. Darrell Adams is ahead of him, but look at Darrell Adams as Weedaz 34, 4th place. So if Andrew can make a good start here, he's got every chance of moving on and stealing that 3rd and final place.
So here is the curveball, if you will. It's a 6 a.m. start for the race. Andrew McIlvride in 1st place on the front row alongside Annie Butterworth. It's then Thomas Comer alongside Darrell Adams on row 2. Row 3 is Kenny Brewster and Ryan Smith. 7th place is going to be Kevin Barry alongside Stuart Anderson. And at the back of the grid, it's going to be Kieran Preedy. But away we go! The lights are on and off here at Bathurst. A beautiful sunrise. 10 minutes of racing, and potentially the PS4 Championship gets decided in this race. I don't know about you, but I am very, very nervous, Andy.
Yeah, well, it's a good start from Andrew McIlvride there. I was watching him closely to see if he could get that car cleanly away off the line. He's got Annie Butterworth hot on his heels, though, as we come in here into Griffin's Bend. Annie thinks better of it, decides to tuck in behind that black and red Ginetta car. Andrew's cleanly away, but where is Darrell Adams? He's now in 3rd place. He's made up 1 place. Annie Butterworth there, flash of the light. She's trying to stick her nose in there again. Backing out at the last minute, she doesn't seem too happy. Perhaps she's maybe even just trying to put Andrew off here. Again, the lights on that Ginetta, that green car still flickering away. But it's Andrew McIlvride who leads this race as they make their way up the mountain.
Yeah, and a fantastic start to the race. We always were very, very concerned about Bathurst being potentially a carnage ground for online racing, and we have not had anything like that. In fact, it is absolutely damn impressive to see that lap 1 and we've got 10 cars still within 5 seconds of each other as we see Andrew McIlvride under real pressure. Annie Butterworth tries to move to the inside. Oh, who's that off at the top of Skyline? There's big, big problems there, and that is good spot there.
Thomas Comer, I was watching that white and red car there. He seemed to throw it out on the outside to try and get the cut back into the next left-hand corner. He got the back end of the car wrong by the looks of it, made contact with the barrier, and he is now down in last place.
Wow, look at this though. Darrell Adams now pressuring Annie Butterworth, and that's allowing Andrew McIlvride to stretch away a little bit here. 60x time progression, so every minute is going to be an hour, and I believe anyway. Oh my goodness me, almost contact! And Darrell Adams trying to go around the outside, but there goes Annie Butterworth trying to cut around to the inside there. That's never going to work. And do you know what? I think Annie's now just got all gloves are off here.
Yeah, and he might feel a little bit hard done by there and thought Andrew would maybe give her a little bit of space to let that car get back on track. Andrew's not having any of it though, and he's got a gap of over half a second between the 3 cars who are hot on his heels. Kenny Brewster though, look at that, up to 2nd place now. He's had a very strong opening lap. Annie Butterworth again maybe having a little look there, but backing out at the last moment. But still Andrew McIlvray, he has survived for another lap, but he's got lots of cars keen to get past him.
And look at this pressure that Annie Butterworth is under right now from Darrell Adams and your championship contender Ryan Smith. They're almost side by side as they come up the mountain straight here, and it's going to be a battle of the wills up into turn number 2 here. There's contact, a tiny little bit of contact there from Annie Butterworth onto Darrell Adams, and that allows Ryan Smith up on the inside. They're coming up through corners number 3 and 4. This is the cutting, and an iconic set of corners here at Bathurst, Andy.
Definitely, it's a very hard one to get right as well. I think, David, it almost reminds me of that section in the Bahrain track before it goes on to the kind of third main sort of straight. It's very easy for the car to become light and unsettled, but again, the drivers are making their way through cleanly as we hit the 2nd lap of this race. Ryan Adams, we're following at the moment 5th place, so he's not really managed to make his way through the pack at the moment. Darrell Adams, of course, in front of him, but then again, it's still that man there. Andrew McIlvray, a gap of just over 0.6 of a second now, but it's Kenny Brewster who's giving chase now with Annie Butterworth down to 3rd place.
And as it stands, this hands the championship comfortably to Kenny Brewster, who hits the wall on the way down from Skyline and through the S's. That is not what he's going to want right now. It's so easy to do. Damage is turned off completely for the sake of the nighttime portion of the race. We don't want drivers having to drive without any lights whatsoever. But yeah, that gives Andrew McIlvray a little bit of breathing space there. And look at Annie Butterworth as well, 1.5 seconds ahead of Ryan Smith. Ryan really is the man who has everything to do right now and isn't able to do it.
Yeah, he's got to get a move on, David, and crucially he's out of the toe here down Corner Road Straight, so he's got to try and make up some time in the corners. But again, look, he's got drivers giving chase as well. It's not been an easy start to the race for him, that's for sure.
Lap 2 coming to an end here with just over 5 minutes left to go of our very first final here at Bathurst for the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship. This is the PlayStation 4 heats, and really what a fantastic competition we've had. I mean, look at that, Andy, 9 seconds, right? Fair enough, from 6th backwards, it's a little bit spread out, but they're all still on the track. They're all still really, really pushing hard.
Yeah, and Thomas Comer's one, who's made up a few places as well, currently sitting, what is that 8th place there, I believe, oh no, sorry, 6th place, I beg your pardon, just moved up there as well, so he's certainly making moves anyway in that white and red Ginetta car there. So again, he's one that could potentially put a little bit of pressure on the likes of Ryan Smith as we come into the 2nd part of this race.
Well, here we go, up through the cutting for the 3rd time of Askin, and look at that, Kenny Brewster is all over the back of Andrew McIlvray, and Annie Butterworth in 3rd place, just holding still through that, through Griffin's Mount, then up through Reed Park here towards Solomon Park, one of the fastest parts of this section here. And Kenny Brewster firmly in the toe of Andrew McIlvray right now through McPhillamy Park, and then it's going to be over Skyline, that wonderful heart-stopping section down through the S's and in towards the Dipper.
Yeah, and Andrew McIlvray, he's lost half a second or so here over this lap. He could well have gotten the car wrong at one point, or it's just a case of, and he's got it wrong there again into the barrier. That gives Kenny Brewster an opportunity. But look, you've got Annie Butterworth there in contention as well. These three split now by half a second as we come round the 2nd part of this lap. Andrew McIlvray, he's had a strong race so far, but now he's going to come under real pressure from not one, but 2 cars.
Well, side by side, Annie Butterworth and Kenny Brewster, they're going to come through the chase here. One of the fastest corners in motorsport, that right-hander, which is completely flat out. Annie Butterworth moves from the toe then in towards 2nd place. Is Kenny Brewster going to have a look on the outside? No, he thinks better of it. Oh, there's almost a bit of contact there. There is contact, and Annie Butterworth gets sent straight on. And that is absolute disaster for Annie. She gets back onto the track. and yeah, I don't think she's going to be too happy on that one. But look at this battle for 5th and 6th place here between Kevin Barry, Thomas Comer. You've got Darrell Adams in there as well, and Stuart Anderson. A cracking race right now.
Absolutely, we're spoilt for drama here, David. You know, we've been watching the front three for much of this race, but again, in the midfield, it's all to play for here as we follow Kevin Barry, currently in 6th place. But again, look at that 3 cars. Again, they're lucky if there's a second split in the 4 of them as they make their way down the mountain straight.
Back with your leader then, it's side by side for the lead. Kenny Brewster has the lead just narrowly from Andrew McIlvride. It's the run down towards Quarry Bend. On the inside, they're going to have to be careful they don't take each other out. And Andrew McIlvride then tries to take the outside line through the cutting. But I think that's it done. I think Kenny Brewster has made that move stick.
Absolutely. Andrew will feel a little bit hard done by. He's had a pretty solid race. But we're saying that he's got it wrong there. But Kenny Brewster, again, we know. I think one of Kenny's greatest strengths is the way in which he reels in his opponent. You know, he's not one of these drivers that just throws it up the inside and hopes for the best. He gradually takes a couple of tenths out here and there. We've seen that time and time again over the course of this championship, David. And again, one of his main assets for me is the consistency in his lap time. You don't see him go from hitting let's say a 2:28 dead, then all of a sudden he's in the 2:30s. The times are always there, lap after lap after lap. And that makes a difference between winning the races and maybe just finishing outside the podium places.
Well, we're seeing here Andrew McIlvride desperately trying to fight back for that position. And Kenny's going to have to be careful here because he just needs to focus on getting a finish. Oh, Annie Butterworth straight into the wall there. Very, very fortunate that damage is turned off for this final race. But it's going to be the run down towards the line. I think they're possibly going to squeeze just one more lap out of this first race. And wow. Callum Reid is asking, where's the snow? We decided against that one, buddy. We'll leave that one for the Xbox. Oh, look at this. McIlvride moves to the inside, through the chase, and down in towards the corner. They're side by side, a little bit of contact. Both of them go off. Oh my goodness me, there's contact! And Kenny Brewster is out! He gets things going again. Now, crucially, that delays things. This is going to be the final lap of the race.
And look at that, who's in second place as well, Ryan Smith, David. That gives him a little bit of a... he's had a real stroke of fortune. But again, we will get one extra lap, as you say, because... Oh, no, wow,
I think that's going to be it. Because it was 0, that's it. Kenny Brewster is your PS4 champion. Wow!
He made it difficult for himself. Real drama as the 2 cars came together. It looked like that car was going to be facing the wrong way at one point, but again, when all the cars around him got things wrong, he just managed to get that yellow and black Ginetta car going.
Thomas Comer got 2nd place.
Wow, 10th at one point. That's a stunning drive from him.
Congratulations then to Kenny Brewster, who claims the PS4 title in race number 1. Thomas Comer in 2nd place there, Ryan Smith in 3rd, it's Stuart Anderson in 4th place, Darrell Adams in 5th, it's going to be Annie Butterworth in 6th place, Kevin Barry in 7th, you've then got Kieran Preedy in 8th, Andy Sedgley in 9th, and Andrew McIlvride, DNF, did not finish that race after leading for 90% of the race. My goodness me, Andy, what a race that was.
Incredible. I have to say, I don't know what Annie Butterworth has to do to win a race here, because they had the 2 cars in front of them come into contact, and then Annie got caught up in that as well. She's been one of the unluckiest drivers, I think, in this PS4 championship. It's been quite incredible to watch. That was a very interesting race, I have to say, because, again, lots of drama throughout it, and then we get to the final section or the final lap, and then it all just completely unfolds. And but again, do you know what the beauty of it, David, is we go once more for the final time in the PlayStation 4.
Well, let's do that. Let's take a very, very short break. We'll be back with race number 2.
was wrong, even once wasn't anything. So if we had another chance, I would never let you steal my life. Bring me back to life.
Welcome back then to round 8, Bathurst Mount Panorama, the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship. This is going to be finals race number 2 that we are going to be going on board with very, very shortly. But just to confirm then, Kenny Brewster is your PlayStation 4 champion after that first race. And an amazing first race, Andy, you've really got to say.
It certainly was, David, absolutely. Packed full of drama from start to finish. Kenny Brewster, congratulations to him for a fantastic season. I'm sure he would have liked to have won the championship in a calmer fashion after. He certainly made it difficult for himself in qualifying, of course. He left it right until the end of the session to get a time on the boards. Then he had lots of drivers round about him throughout that race. Pure drama at the chase on the final lap as well. But at the end of the day, he won't care. He is now our PS4 champion, and yeah, a stunning season really from him from start to finish.
Yeah, it certainly has been, and it sets itself up for an exhibition race now, because while the championship might have been decided or put beyond reasonable doubt for Kenny Brewster, there's still points on offer, and there's still a championship fight going on.
And even if you were unable to be moving up the order, David, you're still racing for pride. And one thing we know about racing drivers is they will absolutely go tooth and nail to the finish. You won't see any of these drivers here just taking it as 10 laps of fun. They will be wanting to make an impression. They'll be wanting to finish this PlayStation 4 championship by laying down a bit of a marker, if you will. And one driver who'll be very keen to do that is this man that we're following right now, Ryan Smith. He knows that he's going to be seconds the best he's going to be able to get on the board, but again, a very quick driver, and he will want to try and go out with a bang here at Bathurst.
Yeah, another man that we're going to keep our eye on just as Ryan Smith comes across the line to do a 2:29 is this man here, Thomas Comer. Now, I just cannot unfathom the effort that man put in to get back into that race, and to finish second place is just absolutely absurd.
Definitely. We called it earlier on. He was up in 6th place or so, and then again had a little bit of drama in front of him, of course. But you've got to make the car count, and we know he's a quick driver. But David, this is the thing: he could have quite easily finished that last race in the podium, because we know he's got the pace. But it's just get through the first lap around Bathurst, I feel, is the key thing. If you do that, you can build from there. It's a long lap in these cars as well, of course, so you really want to try and keep it clean and then kind of go from there. But one way to help your cause even further is certainly get a good qualifying position, and Thomas Comer's certainly done that at the moment. He's just been dethroned from pole position. Having said that, Andrew McIlvright there gone fast with 2:28.2, so not even a tenth of a second splitting the pole position time at the moment.
Andrew McIlvright obviously is going to be a man absolutely seething after race 1 there, because he did so well. He was leading for about 95% of that race and somehow still got a DNF.
Yeah, and that's the thing with...
huge moment coming up the hill there. Sorry.
Definitely. The thing is, Andrew's had a couple of little moments like that where he's just had kissed the barriers here and there, and that is costing you a little bit of speed in these cars. Again, we know they're not the fastest in a straight line, so any contact just like that there with the barrier, you're slowing it down, and that lap is now gone with a little more than 2 minutes left in this session, so he's only really probably going to get one last run at it. Yes, he's on pole position, but it's those little tiny coming together that slows you down. There's another one there. I suspect there's maybe something going wrong with the car, because it's very unlike Andrew. Maybe I think
he's just given up, has he? Or he's given a shot at the controller.
Maybe he's listening. Maybe he's listening to us here and saying, "Do you know what? I'll show you." But it's just, there you go. Maybe he is listening to us. Let's move on to Darryl Adams now. He's in 3rd place, 7/10 off pole position at the moment. He's maybe getting a little bit of a toe down the straight here. Goes right sides, he's clear quite comfortably. Again, a very quick driver, currently 3rd in the championship, of course, and it's Andrew McIlvright who's looking to leapfrog him for 3rd place in the standings. I think he's, Darryl Adams, he's been a quick driver throughout this championship, so he'll be hoping to hold on to that 3rd and final place.
Thomas Comer jumping up with a 2:27.645, getting a fantastic run up the hill there. Try to find out who that is that he's getting a run up the hill from. There we go. It's Stuart Anderson giving Thomas Comer a fantastic run up Mountain Straight there, and then immediately nerfs that advantage that he had there.
Yes, I did wonder if Stuart was going to move to the side, but absolutely not. He's on a hot lap. He's entitled to go for it as well. Thomas Comer, I think if any driver's getting into the 2:27, it's got to be a pretty quick lap. Kenny Brewster, getting that yellow car, the back end of it's getting a bit tail happy. A couple of times that's happened with Kenny as well. But again, look at that, David. This is a repeat of the opener. A little over a minute left, and Kenny still doesn't have a time on the board.
Yeah, and this is either this one here is going to be his lap, or it's going to be as soon as he crosses the line, that is going to be his qualifying lap going in. And I've got to be honest, it's a bit dramatic, isn't it? I think he likes the attention, but I mean he only qualified in 5th place that last time round, so. At the moment, I wouldn't be too worried if it was Thomas Comer right now. 2:27.645. Darrell Adams jumping up there, 2:27.835. And yeah, really, really good lap there. Annie Butterworth jumping up to 5th place there, 2:28.989. Let's see what Kenny Brewster then can do. Comes out of Murray's Corner and starts his final qualifying lap. This might be enough to get him up into the top 5. It's not. 2:40.801.
It's had an incident earlier on in the lap, David, almost certainly, if that's the time that's gone on the board. Again, bit of a showman here almost, isn't he? Certainly giving us something to watch in this final qualifying event of the season for the PS4s. But it's like we were talking about in the last race, David. It's the way Kenny reels in his opponent that I find very, very impressive.
Yeah, I can imagine Kenny Brewster right now. The stress and the anxiety is ratcheted up to 11, and the heart is beating out of his chest to a certain extent. But it almost doesn't matter now. This is just a fun race for him.
It is, but again, you want to try and finish it as strongly as we can. You want to go out as champion and know that he's giving it his all in every single final here. Very quick driver, as we know. And it'll be interesting to see what time he does put on the board here, because that will give a little bit of an indication of, is he going to have to fight his way through the field here, or will he perhaps have an easier ride of it? But it's the man on pole position at the moment, Thomas Comer, with a very, very quick time there. Thomas, we spoke about it for the last race, he could have quite easily been up in the podium places, but got things wrong in that opening lap. Again, look at that car, David. It's almost a little bit of a trait of Kenny's. It gets very, very light around this part of the track, but he just does enough to keep it under control and maximise performance from it.
Yeah, he's looking very fast, very smooth down the second half of the circuit here, and this is looking a very, very fast lap.
Again, and just look there, again, he's almost as close enough to that barrier that he could reach out from that car and touch it. There's nothing splitting it at all. He's using every bit of the track and then some as we go down Conrod Straight here for the last time and into the chase. The scene, of course, of the drama in the opener. And, let's see.
The scene of the crime.
Yeah, well, yes, it was. It'll be. I'll be interested to see if any protests go in afterwards. That's for sure. Kenny gets the car hooked up neat and tidy there. Again, using a little bit of the curb on the inside before letting the car move across to the left-hand side of the track. Now coming into Murray's Corner for the final time. Can he get hard on the brakes, get that car turned clips the apex nicely, lets it run out wide, using a little bit of the curb and then some more. Let's see what time he gets round here. He'll be one of the last cars to cross the line here.
Oh, it's only 7th place. Yeah, that wasn't fast. Wow. One person who did move up is Annie Butterworth, 2nd place, 2:27.772. And look at that, 6th place for Kenny Brewster, 2:29. So it just shows you looks can very much be deceiving. But we move on to our final race for the PS4s of the season. I can't believe I've just said that. It's Thomas Comer alongside Annie Butterworth on the front row, Darrell Adams and Ryan Smith on row 2, Andrew McIlvright and Kenny Brewster on row 3. It's Kevin Barry and Stuart Anderson on row 4, and then Andrew McIlvright at the back, and away we go. And that's a jump start for Annie Butterworth, 100%. That car was launched away, and she's off into turn 1 before anyone else has even turned round.
Say that, the best start we've seen in this PlayStation 4 Championship.
Oh,
and there's drama behind.
And that's Ryan Smith. And Andrew McIlvright as well.
Wow, the 2 cars that were at the front in the opener are now at the back in this final event, David. But again, let's keep an eye on them, because they could make their way through the field, but not a great start to the race for either of them.
Yeah, it's been a weekend to forget so far. Your race leader then, Annie Butterworth, just ahead of Thomas Comer. And then it's a big gap back to Kenny Brewster ahead of Darrell Adams. And then Kevin Barry, that is 3rd, 4th and 5th place. Oh, and there's contact again. And that is Kenny Brewster putting Darrell Adams into the wall up at the cutting there. He's not going to like that one. I think we're going to see a little bit of reprisals after that. Yeah,
definitely. Darrell Adams looking to try and make his way through there, but Kenny Brewster's not having any of it. But again, you've got Kevin Barry in there in the mix as well, Kieran Preedy too. So this is a part of the race where the drivers are looking to try and assert their dominance, make sure that they're not falling down the order. But look how tight that midfield pack is.
Scary, scary stuff. They come over Skyline then for the first time in this final race for the PlayStation 4s, and I tell you what, the entire pack have done themselves very, very proud so far tonight. As we see, who is that? That is Kevin Barry just ahead of Kieran Preedy, the big bad Preedy monster. Oh, and a huge moment there for Stuart Anderson, locks up the brakes and managed to live and tell the tale, and just stays in 7th place ahead of the recovering Ryan Smith there. But back with that battle for 4th, 5th, 6th as well. They're side by side coming down towards the chase, and here comes Kieran Preedy with a move on Kevin Barry. There's side by side, a little bit of touch in there, and that's not a place you want to be making some wild moves.
No, absolutely not. I'm just watching Kieran's line there, and I did wonder if he was going to get that move done before the corner, and he has done, so he'll be pleased with that. Looking to again advance once more. Kenny Brewster here, though, that we're following 3rd place at the moment. He's got that final podium place, but look who's in the lead, David. It's Annie Butterworth. She's managed to get past Thomas Comer. If
she's not into the pits, does that mean that was a legit start?
Yeah, I just wondered there, because I wondered Thomas Comer was putting a little bit of pressure on. I wonder if I did think there, did Thomas get past, but that's not been the case at all, so I'm mistaken. But that can't be a penalty then, David. It must have just been an absolutely fantastic start.
Wow.
Again, that gap though, 0.4 of a second now, so Thomas has again taken a little bit more time out of it, but look at Annie now down the mountain straight, weaving from side to side to try and break the toe. She's quite entitled to do it, but Thomas is just following as they now make their way into Griffin's Bend.
Oh, and a big slide going round the corner. Oh, she's lost it all of her own accord. Annie Butterworth loses it into turn number 2. Oh, you hate to see it, and that is potentially going to throw her out of the podium as well, as Daryl Adams gets past, and then it's going to be Kenny Brewster. Oh, look at that up the inside there. That is Kieran Preedy. Oh my goodness me, Kieran Preedy just absolutely nerfed your champion into the wall. Can we get an F in chat, please, for that one? Kenny Brewster at the back of the field. That was just rude.
Incredible stuff there. Incredible stuff. That's 2 races where Kenny Brewster's been caught up in some drama, and now he's right down the order there. But Annie Butterworth are falling at the moment. She's going from 1st to 3rd. It's all kicking off here, David, with not long to go in this final race. Yeah,
6 minutes left to go, and yet it feels like it could be an eternity left to go because it's all going wrong. Kieran Preedy, somehow the machine is up into 4th place there, as Kevin Barry is just ahead of Stuart Anderson and Ryan Smith, along with Andrew McIlvray. That is an absolute powder keg just waiting to go off back there. Side by side though for the battle for 2nd place, it's Daryl Adams with a poorer exit from that corner as they head up towards the chase. Annie Butterworth's going to have the inside line here. What can she do with it?
Yeah, this is the chase is always a tricky one, because again you can potentially be vulnerable to a cutback if you don't get the move done early. Again, we've seen Annie Butterworth do that there, but again, she's just giving a little bit of space there to Daryl Adams. But again, now Daryl's just tucked in behind. He's going to try and perhaps make a move into Murray's corner. Let's see if he decides to throw that red car up the inside. No, he's just sticking in behind the green Janetta car in front of him, Annie Butterworth, who does run wide there, and that's going to compromise her going into Hill corner, I beg your pardon. But then it's Ryan Smith here now with fall 6th place, 2 cars round about, and Kenny Brewster being one of them. Kenny's going, he's taking that inside line there. He should surely make that move stick now, with a little over 4 minutes left in this session.
I think they need to rename that to Hull Corner. That's a far better name for it. So Daryl Adams has got ahead of Annie Butterworth there. So Annie Butterworth has obviously got a slow down penalty or some sort of issue right now, because she's dropping all the way back, and that means that Kieran Preedy is on the podium.
Yeah, Kieran's he's managed to keep that car out of trouble. I did wonder there if that was another penalty.
Oh my goodness me!
I think that's one of the biggest penalties we've seen in this championship, David. That is incredible.
I think she's cut the chicane. Oh my goodness me, who's that? That's Daryl Adams that goes off at the top of the hill there, and just has to start recovering.
But then now Kieran Preedy, second place in this race. Incredible. It's all kicking off here once again in this race.
So that's Annie Butterworth again losing out. She's now behind Andrew McIlvright. Andrew McIlvright was last at one point in this race. He's now back up onto the podium and just 2 seconds behind Kieran Preedy. So, my goodness me, there's no way you're going to be able to predict these final 3 minutes.
Wow, and there we go. Kenny Brewster now 6th place, but again, Darryl Adams hot on his heels as they come round a very tricky part of this lap. And Darryl Adams, he's got it all wrong again into the barrier. That's going to put him under pressure here. Oh, wow, this is, again, look at that blue car behind him, throwing it up the inside perhaps there. Not quite happened there. Stuart Anderson's tucking in behind Darryl Adams now, trying to get a toe perhaps down the straight. And this is so close to call David. Lots of cars, very, very lively to say the least. And 2 and a bit minutes left in this session, and the order as it stands could look quite different when the checkered flag comes down. Yeah,
just watching this now between 2nd and 3rd place. There's 1.2 seconds between Kieran Preedy and Andrew McIlvright. Andrew has got a lot of pace in that car. Annie Butterworth has got just a millennium of penalties to be applied after that. She's going to have aged about 40 years by the time that she actually does finish this race. But never mind, look at this behind her though, Darryl Adams, and it's all going a bit Pete Tong behind as well, and that is Bunyip Adventure getting some penalties as well, and it goes up even more, 55 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, it's a bit ruthless this game when it comes to penalties, that's for sure. It does not like it does not have any leeway whatsoever in it, as we now ride on board with Andrew McIlvright into Griffin's Bend. He's got Kieran Preedy in front of him. Andrew's a little bit away from the apex there, to put it mildly. But again, seems to have actually caught up with Kieran Preedy there. Maybe used the banking to carry a little bit more speed as they go into the cut-in. This is again a tricky corner. It's a little bit of a double apex almost. And again, Kieran Preedy's got it all wrong. That gives Andrew McIlvright a chance as they come up to Quarry Corner. Can he make it stick though? And there's a little bit of contact there between the pair of them. But I think Andrew's just done enough to make it stick and take 2nd place in this race.
Wow. So a big move there for Andrew McIlvright to muscle Kieran Preedy out the way there for 2nd place. Meanwhile, you've got Annie Butterworth getting caught by Ryan Smith, who is 2nd place in the championship. And a minute left to go in the race. This is going to be the final lap of the race, I believe. Coming down Skyline for the final time is Thomas Comer.
And credit to Thomas Coleman there. His last lap there is a 28.7, but I was watching him throughout the race, and they were in the 27s. You know, his consistency here has been absolutely fantastic. He's one of those drivers that we spoke about could well and really should have been in contention for winning this race. He's been very impressive. I thought he did well in the qualifiers as well, but we're here in the final race. He's going to take a deserved win.
Yeah, brilliant performance. We may squeeze one lap, I think, though. I think this is going to be it. We've got 20 seconds left to go in the race. Thomas Comer coming down towards Murray's Corner for potentially the final time. We'll know very shortly. I think he might do it. I think he might squeeze out one more lap for the PlayStation 4. We've got 8 seconds. Is he going to stop?
I slowed down.
Yes, I thought he was. Yep, there we go. So Thomas Comer takes the win from Andrew McIlvright, just with Kieran Preedy in 3rd place there. Annie Butterworth takes 10th place because she'll cross the line but immediately get hammered from penalties there. You've got, so it's Kieran Preedy 3rd place, Darryl Adams in 4th place, Ryan Smith in 5th. You've then got Stuart Anderson in 6th place there. 7th place is going to be Kenny Brewster. We've then got Kevin Barry in 9th. 8th place, Andy Sedgley in 9th, and Andy Butterworth last. Wow. What a final race to end the PlayStation 4 Championship.
Absolutely, what a way to go out. Drama throughout, not just that race, but the first one as well, of course. That was a thrilling end to the PlayStation 4 Championship, and congratulations to our champion, Kenny Brewster.
Yep, hearty congratulations indeed. And what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes' time for the finals of the Xbox Day. Will start at 7 o'clock. We'll be back very, very shortly.
To speak, you're quick to change your mind, and I know it's me that followed you in blind. I could say that you didn't need, but you wanted me. Maybe I was wrong, even once wasn't anything. So if we had another chance, I would never let you steal my plans. Bring me back to life. Don't dig deep like you would have a clue. All I see is how I was a fool. See my heart skip beats, thinking about you. Whoa. I could say that you didn't need, but you wanted me. Maybe I was wrong, even once wasn't anything. Yeah, I could say that you didn't need any part of me. Yeah, maybe it's not me, you should be the one on your knees. So if we had another chance, I would never let you steal my plans.
Well, welcome back to round 8 of the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. And Andy, there's been some source of hilarity during the break there.
There's been some outstanding revelations to say the least. So normally what happens obviously during the break is lots of drivers are being invited into the session to get things going, you know, choosing the livery of their car and things like that. Some drivers of course use the final few moments to reflect and get themselves ready for qualifying in the first 2 races. Cormac Patterson, however, prepares for the SMRC eSports Racing Championships in a very unorthodox way, shall we say? David, I'll give you the honours of saying what
I can't, because all that's going through my head is "Get off my land."
Yeah. So Cormac was playing Farming Simulator 17 5 minutes before the session.
In multiplayer as well.
Multiplayer, yeah. I mean, what are you even doing multiplayer? Like, what is that? But it turns out you can actually share a farm.
Well,
with people. So, you know, these games, I've always wondered about those sort of games. You know, you see them and think, who would actually play that? But it's amazing the amount of numbers that they get. You know,
I don't know. I've watched quite a few YouTube videos of folk playing it. There's one, I think it's Gray Still Plays, where he gets games and he just breaks them. So he goes into like the config files in the PC version, and gives the tractors like 10 million brake horsepower. It's just like the game breaks in the most unpredictable of ways. Stuart Anderson says, "Hey guys, I just want to say a massive thanks for hosting the summer series. It was good lap and very competitive. Good job on the W, Kenny. Thanks again. Good luck to everyone in this next one." Thank you very much, Stuart. You were fantastic to watch. Cameron Evans says that we should try a new game next season. We're open to suggestions. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should split it off and do, say, Forza for Xbox and Gran Turismo for PlayStation? I think the great thing about Project Cars 2 is that it hits that middle mark, does it? It gets everybody involved. It gets the sim racers and it gets the more light-hearted racers in.
Yeah, absolutely, David. It's you know, if you go down the road of, say, Forza, it can feel too arcadey to some people.
Yeah.
I do feel, as a personal opinion, I do feel that the shift in the racing community is towards more sim-based platforms, but that doesn't mean that it comes at the expense of arcade games. There is still a place for the likes of Forza, Project Cars 3, is Marmite to say the least, but there's still a place for these games and there's still people who will enjoy them. Thomas O'Connor saying in chat, Assetto Corsa, I think that's a pretty good shout actually.
Yeah, that's not too bad actually.
New platform, yeah, I think that would be a good one. But yeah, that's the beauty of it. You know what? The more racing games, the better. I say. You know, any opportunity to potentially introduce new people into motorsport can only be a good thing.
Well, let's bring ourselves up to speed with what we've got going on tonight, because there you go, that is who we are due to have in our final, and I'm delighted to say we have got all 9 drivers in with us. Ian Wilson, Cameron Evans, John Glover, Tony Logie, Josh McNabb, Cormac Patterson, Angus Scrivener and Andrew Gilman, along with Callum Reid. So that is the 9 drivers. Keir Riley says anything but ACC, Assetto Corsa Competition, pure garbage. Now, the story behind that is that me and Keir picked up ACC at the same time for the PC. I took to it fairly well. Keir absolutely hated it for the multiplayer element. And it's actually not too bad a game, but yeah, the multiplayer leaves a lot to be desired. So yeah, confirmed we'll do the next season on Assetto Corsa Competition. But back to tonight, because it all boils down to this, Andy. Some big moments for the championship. 3-way fight.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, it's a 4-way fight, actually, because I forgot. We've got 50 points on. So, no, it's not, actually, because James is not here. So it's a 3-way fight. Ignore me.
Well, you've got 3 cars split by 7 points. Cameron Evans leading the way on 190. Josh McNabb has really hit a cracking run of form here over the last couple of rounds in particular. But it's that man there in 3rd place, Tony Logie. He's led the way for much of this championship, but now finds himself in 3rd place, owing to connectivity issues at a previous round, which meant he couldn't compete in the finals at all, or couldn't compete in the qualifiers even, which really hindered his championship hopes. But then once you look, James Black, of course, not competing in this one, but Aidan Wilson is in 5th place on 95 points. Lots of Andrew Gilman can put him under a little bit of pressure in there as well. Cormac Patterson down in 10th place. He's going to move up the championship order. It's just a case of by how many places can he do it. But if you thought the drama, the contact in the PlayStation was pretty nerve-wracking, the Xbox is going to be even more so, because there is so much at stake here.
Yeah, it certainly will. Stuart Anderson, is the final PlayStation standings available? Not on stream. We'll be totting up all of the points, because remember, it is still subject to protests, and from what I've been told, there is at least 2 protests in already. So yeah, fun times. But yeah, you will be able to get them on the SMRC website, and we will announce them officially on the Facebook page. We'll give you some provisional ones tonight once we do all the calculations. So that is the Xbox One leaderboard. And without further ado, let's head trackside then for our first of 2 qualifying sessions for the Xbox Championship. And again, I can't believe that we're at the end of the season already. It feels very, very strange.
Definitely, it's gone on so quickly, hasn't it? And I think this has been a fantastic asset to the SMRC overall, David. You know, it's been great to bring new individuals into the championship. It's been great to see some of the drivers as well throughout the championship actually competing in some of our championships as well, which has been really good to see some people make that switch across. And I think this has been a great way for everyone to keep in touch as well, and to go on and meet new friends too, and just have some great fun along the way, which is always a bonus. And this final event in the Xbox Championship, I think, will be a really nice way to round everything off.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. I mean, obviously, it's been an incredibly strange year. It's been tumultuous, and very, very fractured. And I think that, you know, for us as a community, to give us something that we can all just kind of hang out together. Oh, there's a wee bit of rubbing there. What's going on there? That is that... So, look, that is John Glover and Josh McNabb having a little bit of a kiss and cuddle session going on the Mount Straight there. That's not really what you want to see, but Josh McNabb up into pole position, 2:28.431. You just know that time's going to get bettered. But yeah, I mean, look, something for the community. It's just been fantastic to see how seriously everyone's been taking it.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great platform. I think esports, the sim racing community in general, has only been growing. The one thing I would say as well is, as real racing returns here in Scotland and further afield, this will always stay. This will always be the case. Now, this is an excellent way to keep yourself sharp if you are competing in real life. But if you're not, it's a great way still to engage. You know, I think the days of joining public lobbies and it was 10 people in total carnage aren't as frequent. I'm not going to say that they're gone, but they aren't as frequent anymore.
What you've inadvertently done there, Andy, is describe a Assetto Corsa competition.
Ah, right, okay. See, I haven't.
It's always Monza, and it's always turn 1.
Right, Monza turn 1. Okay, so I mean that's the thing as well. It always used to be Monaco turn 1, didn't it? But it's now Monza turn 1. And yeah, I mean, I think what you're seeing now is less of the jumping into the open lobbies and just going for it. You're seeing more leagues starting up, and you're seeing, I think, the popularity of them growing. And yeah, I think as you see the likes of Fanatec really making moves in the industry as well, lots of people investing in that level of kit, that's there up in the standard of racing as well, of course. You're seeing lots of the drivers here, not just in this Xbox Championship, but in the PlayStation 4, and obviously in the iRacing Championship, they're using some serious kit to get these cars around the tracks.
Yeah, they certainly are, and the equipment can range into the thousands of pounds, depending on how much you want to sink into your desired setup. So looking at the time screens, 1.5 minutes left to go. Now we're going to start seeing the final times coming in. It's still Josh McNabb ahead of Cameron Evans, who just goes second place there, 2:28.495. Josh McNabb 2:28.431, and Cameron Evans ahead of Josh McNabb by just 6 points. Now let's play devil's advocate here. Let's imagine that this is how the first race would end up. That would put Josh McNabb within 1 point of Cameron Evans, I believe, because I think it's 25 for, it is indeed 25 for first place and 20 points for second place. So yeah, that could be an amazing change of events for the championship. The man with everything to do right now is Tony Logie, and at the moment he doesn't have a time set.
Yeah, he's doing a bit of a Kenny Brewster here, isn't he? He's leaving it late. Tony in that green car. Let's see if he does get a strong time on the board here. And again, look at that car, David. Getting all wrong there as he makes his way down the S's, and then he'll soon be into Forest Elbow in the final part of this lap. That's going to have cost him a fair bit of time here, and it'll be interesting to see what impact that does have on the lap on the board.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that car is not looking very, very happy. And of course, fast drivers can be fast, but everyone has their track that they really, really dislike, and this may very well be that for Tony Logie. Alternatively, we have seen it quite a few times in tracks where a driver can have what looks like a monstrous moment, but it doesn't actually cost them all that much time. Qualifying is done and dusted. Drivers are on the final laps just now, and Tony Logie's well and truly been compromised on that. And I think that is, let's have a look here, who has got in front of him there. It's Angus Scrivener. So the two drivers that don't have time set just now, coming across the line just now, and what is going to happen here?
Tony Logie is going to be absolutely furious with that. Flash of light to try and get past.
Wow! Tony Logie 2:28.221 after that monstrous moment up the hill. So again, that just shows you that it's not always what it seems. Josh McNabb out of the final corner now. What can he do? Can he improve on his 2:28.431? He does! 2:28.197. Josh McNabb goes to pole position, and then it's Cameron Evans across the line. Does Cameron Evans take pole position? No, he doesn't. So it's Josh McNabb, Tony Logie, and then Cameron Evans. Ian Wilson in fourth. Wow. I did not see that one coming. Right, 6 a.m. start. Again, the damage is off. Tyre wear is off. Josh McNabb leads on row 1 from Tony Logie. In row 2 is Cameron Evans. Ian Wilson. Row 3 is going to be Westy V8 alongside Andrew Gilman. And then Cormac Patterson alongside John Glover on row 4. And then at the back of the grid, Angus Scrivener not setting a time there. 5 seconds to go for our first of the final 2 races tonight. The lights are on. And we are going at Bathurst, and that's a huge start at the back there. I think that was Cormac Patterson there, but a brilliant start there for Josh McNabb as they run down to Hill Corner.
Josh has got that away there cleanly. Tony Logie hot on his heels though. He's carried some real pace into that corner. He's going to be in the slipstream here as well. And there's contact at the back, David. That looks like it's Andrew Gilman, and it's Cormac Patterson as well, I believe. Well,
that is not going to go down well. The two friends taking each other out. Meanwhile, we've got a battle going down the mountain straight forward. The lead is Tony Logie. It's going to be on the outside of turn number 1. Josh McNabb to the inside. There's touching, and Josh McNabb takes the inside line. Tries to run Tony Logie out. He's going to have to give him some fair room, and that is going to mean that Tony Logie gets the inside line for the cutting.
Really brave stuff there from Tony Logie. I did wonder if he was going to back out, but he's kept that green car in there, and he's managed to put himself into first place in this race. And I just wonder if, thinking back to qualifying there in the chase, he lost a little bit of time there as well. He could have saved himself all this drama if he had managed to get an earlier time on the board, I wonder. But now he'll just be thinking forward, I'm in the lead. But the likes of Aidan Wilson in there as well, of course, in third place, all keen to make a move, and plenty still to play for in this race.
My heart is in my mouth as they come down towards Skyline for the first time of Ask, and then Tony Logie in the lead from Josh McNabb. And what on earth has happened to Cameron Evans? Cameron Evans down in 7th place right now. So that is a huge disaster for Cameron Evans and his title hopes right now.
Absolutely, championship leader on 190 points. He'll be championship leader no more as things stand. That's a disastrous start to race 1 here in the Xbox. But Tony Logie, he won't be caring. Look at that, a gap of 0.8 of a second now between him and Josh McNabb. Josh McNabb, again, he's deciding to follow that green car in front of him, try and get as much of a tow as possible down Conrod Straight. But Tony Logie, the man of the moment, he is in there in first place as things stand as they go into the chase. And yeah, David, this is going to be an interesting one to call, because look at that front two. They've got a gap of almost 5 seconds between them and Aidan Wilson in third place.
Wow, huge stuff though. But just being 0.8 of a second off the pace still keeps him in contention. But Cameron Evans, 13 seconds away down the grid there. That is just absolute heartbreak for that young man. And that potentially will drop him right to the back of that grid. Because as it stands, it is going to be a 4-point lead for Tony Logie if he can hold on to this from Josh McNabb right now.
Yeah, and that's the big question, David, if he can hold on, because Josh McNabb has been very impressive in the last few rounds, I feel. Tony's not getting away. The gap's still round about the same, so Josh is just sticking with him at the moment. Is he perhaps just going to stay where he is just now and then make a move towards the final couple of minutes of this race, I wonder? Or will Josh decide now, I just want to get past and get track position? So this will be very interesting to see how Josh McNabb approaches this battle between him and race leader Tony Logie.
Well, we'll watch that one with great curiosity throughout the first race of 2 here. In third place then, Aidan Wilson just ahead of Angus Scrivener. Angus Scrivener was last on the grid and is already up to 4th place, so brilliant start for him. It is Westy V8 that is up into 5th place there, so that is a fantastic effort for them just now. And really happy to see that Callum Reid is doing a better performance than I think he had through the week there. Cameron Evans in 6th place there, 14 seconds off of the lead. Cormac Patterson, after that initial lap moment there with Andrew Gilman, having another moment off the curbs there, and then John Glover down at the back of the grid there.
Yeah, there's been some really interesting battles throughout the pack in this one. Cameron Evans, I think, is the one to watch in 6th place at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if he can make up any positions. His time is running out for him to be able to do that. A 3-second penalty into the bargain, though, that's really going to compromise his efforts. But it's the front two, Tony Logie and Josh McNabb. They won't care. They two are scrapping it out between themselves for the win in race 1 here.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge fight happening here. 5 minutes left to go. That gap is already down to half a second now. And there goes Josh McNabb. He's now deciding to pile the pressure on to Tony Logie. Tries to go right there. It's a slow down penalty for Tony Logie. That's why he's had to give the place up there. And that means that Josh McNabb moves into the lead. And that is a big moment, because that now means that Josh McNabb would take the lead and would be 6 points ahead of Tony Logie.
Yeah, and a gap of almost a second between the two of them as well, David. So that means that Tony Logie is going to probably be out of the slipstream range here. And that gives Josh McNabb a little bit of a breather as well, of course, as they make their way towards Griffin's Bend.
Wow, huge implications on the championship right now. And it's difficult to take your eyes off it. We will have to, because we have to have a look through the rest of the field as well. We've got Callum Reid just ahead of Angus Scrivener now. Angus dropping down in towards 5th place there. So a great move up for Callum Reid there, and moving himself up into 4th place. We've got Andrew Gilman and Cormac Patterson side by side. Boys, take it easy. This is going to end in tears. But Andrew Gilman decides discretion is a better part of valour and dives in behind Cormac Patterson there. John Glover all by himself down in 9th place. I never saw this race 1 coming at all, did you?
No, this has been a bit of a shocker to say the least. Cameron Evans, a 3-second penalty is really going to hurt him. His time last time out of 2:35.4, so he's had an incident somewhere on the lap. And again, a little bit of a gap of 4 and a bit seconds or so between him and 5th place Angus Scrivener. He's not. I don't see him going backwards in the order as things stand, unless of course he gets it all wrong. But an absolute disaster for Cameron Evans. So that really does shift the focus of this championship fight towards our new race leader, Josh McNabb, with Tony Logie in second place and around 0.6 of a second, splitting those two down Conrod Straight with a little over 3 minutes left in this race.
Yeah, Josh McNabb desperately trying to weave to break the toe that Tony Logie is going to have come down to Conrod Straight. He might have been better just trying to keep the tail end speed of that Ginetta GT5, because Tony Logie putting him under all sorts of pressure now, coming down in towards the final couple of corners now. We've got 2 minutes 50 seconds left to go. We've got 2 laps left to go of this race then. Josh McNabb just needs to hold on for 2 more laps and he's going to jump into the lead of the championship here. Wow.
The thing is here, Tony Logie it's almost like the unstoppable force against the immovable object here, because Tony Logie, I think, is again another driver that can make moves quickly, but Josh McNabb's defensive side of his game is very, very strong. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. 0.2 of a second this time round, splitting them on the mountain straight. Josh McNabb weaving that car, he's taking that same tactic to try and break the toe. Now he seems to have committed on maybe a little slight change there to try and unsettle Tony Logie, who's looking to try and take the outside line, get that cut back into the cutting. It's not going to happen for him this time. As again, look at that, Josh McNabb parking it on the outside. Again, just trying to do everything in his power to keep Tony Logie behind him. Tony Logie there early on the brakes, I thought, this time round there. But look at this. This is so close, and David, it's going to be so difficult to call.
Yeah, it certainly is. We'll keep our eye on that. We'll come back to that in a second. Cracking little battle here for third place. That is Callum Reid against Ian Wilson. Ian Wilson round the outside. They're almost 3 wide as Angus Scrivener gets involved as well. And into the wall goes Ian Wilson. Back with your battle for the lead though. This is down towards Skyline. Josh McNabb doing everything he possibly can to hold on to that lead from Tony Logie. This is nail-biting stuff right now. Pure defensive driving from young Josh McNabb as we go in towards the final lap of the race. We've got 1 minute left to go. And a little bit of a wobble under braking there for Josh McNabb, but he looks to have got the better exit out of that corner, and it's down Conrod Straight. This is just gripping stuff. And
the lap time last time round from both of them, look at that, both hitting a 2:27.4. You cannot split these two, but Tony Logie's going to try and have a go here as they make their way towards the chase. He looks like he's going to try and take he's got the move done earlier actually, but look at that there, Josh McNabb.
Oh, no!
There's contact between them. Josh McNabb goes
on to braking.
Also goes wide, but look at that, Tony Logie has managed to keep that car going in first place. A little bit of a gap between the pair of them now, and David, that was interested. Unfortunately, both cars managed to keep facing the same way.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was on Josh there, purely because Josh went onto the grass on the braking zone and just went straight into the back of Tony Logie there. And wow. Right, we've got 1 final lap left to go, and I like the fact that they've both brought each other in towards the same here. So yeah, this is going to be an epic final lap right now.
Yeah, fair play, because it would be easy just to disappear off into the sunset there, but good sportsmanship from the pair of them to go round the mountain one more time to fight for this race win. But look at this man here, is Callum Reid. He's holding on to third place as it stands. He's got Angus Scrivener, Aidan Wilson, and now Cameron Evans all behind him, trying to make some moves here as they head into Griffin's Bend. It looks like Callum's going to survive that one fairly easily, but it's the two behind, Angus Scrivener, Aidan Wilson, both having a good fight between them. Angus managing to hold on to fourth place in that blue car. Tony Logie, however, still in the lead of this race, a little over 0.2 of a second between him and Josh McNabb.
Wow, this is just absolute madness, and what they don't want, what they do not want, is to take each other out, because they both need the points right now if there's going to be any point in this final race right now. But stunning stuff here from Tony Logie and from Josh McNabb. And I'm just keeping an eye on the timing screens as well, just to see how Cameron Evans is doing, because 6th place, that is not a good look for his final effort, as Tony Logie brushes the wall a little bit there.
Yeah, and it's these two, of course. Josh McNabb is currently second in the championship with a 1 point lead over Tony Logie. So perhaps Josh McNabb is going to decide, look, I'm just going to sit back. I don't want both of us to come together again here in the chase, and I'll try and have a go in race 2. But let's see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, much better to be 1 point behind than to not get any points at all. Cameron Evans moving up into 5th place there ahead of Angus Scrivener, so that's going to be some more points for him. But it's been a fantastic race for Tony Logie. It looks like he's just got 2 corners left to go as we go back into darkness then. For our first race of 2 this evening, it's going to be a race win for Tony Logie. Fantastic stuff. 2nd place is going to go to Josh McNabb. And then it's going to be 3rd place potentially. Now wait, there's penalties. There's penalties for all 3 drivers that are coming after this just now. Let's see what they've got. 1 second, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. So it's not going to affect the timings here at all. But it's going to be Callum Reid, that finishes in 3rd place there. So he gets 16 points. Wow. Yeah. So Cameron Evans gets 6th place there, and that is only going to be 10 points for him.
No, it's like 6th place. I think is, all things considered, that could have been a lot worse for Cameron Evans. That's going to be no crumb of comfort to him whatsoever. Of course, it's been a disappointing one for him, to say the least. But credit to Callum Reid, getting that final place on the podium with a very strong drive. I felt it came under a lot of sustained pressure from Angus Scrivener, Aidan Wilson, and latterly from Cameron Evans. So credit to him for taking 3rd place in this one. But Tony Logie with the race win and the upper hand, perhaps going into the final race in the Xbox.
Well, we'll find out. We'll take a very short break and we'll be right back with race number 2.
Maybe I was wrong, even once wasn't anything. If we had another chance, I would never let you steal my glance. Bring me back to life.
Well, as if you could ask for any more drama. Yeah, that was an awesome first race there, Andy.
Wow, absolutely was. I'm just looking at chat here as well, David, and lots of people enjoying that one. And do you know the best thing of it? You know, we go again. We've got one more to decide it, and I think, David, you couldn't call it. 3 drivers, and there's hardly anything between them. This is just going to come into an absolute showdown here at Bathurst to decide the championship winner in the Xbox.
Well, let's jump back to qualifying then for the second of our 2 races, and I've been busy while we're off air or having a wee 5-minute break. Have a look at this. Ooh, championship standings as they stand then. Tony Logie on 208 points, Josh McNabb on 204, and Cameron Evans on 200 points. Yeah, we're going to need a slide rule and a calculator and an abacus board to work out the finals after this. But that is how they stand going into this final race right now. Yeah. This is scary stuff.
It's you know, we were just having a wee quick chat off air there, David, and you know, we're just nervous watching this one. You know, how do you think it feels for any one of these 9 drivers in this this final event here in the Xbox? So it's 25 points for a race win, it's 20 points for second place, and it's 16 points for third place. So Cameron Evans, he could quite easily still go on and win this. He probably does need a favour from someone else there in the pack to perhaps get a little bit of a buffer between Tony Logie and Josh McNabb. But for the front 2, it's just going to be a straight shootout to decide who comes out on top here.
And I'm gonna apologise in advance because the majority of this race is going to be focused on, understandably, our 3 championship contenders. We'll do our best to cover all the scraps going on elsewhere, but this is monumental. For it to go down to the final race and for it to be split by just 8 points is just... we couldn't have asked for anything better here. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this one, Andy.
Definitely, and you know, we've got 3 cracking drivers that are going to treat us to a great showdown here as well. 3 very different strengths, I feel, between the group. I think Tony's consistency, the way he chases down drivers, is very, very strong. Defensive side of Josh McNabb's game is absolutely fantastic as well. Cameron Evans is one of those drivers that just brings it constantly. He's had a little bit of misfortune there, but his outright pace, we know, is absolutely phenomenal. So 3 of them, all very, very capable and deserving winners of this Xbox One Championship. So best of luck to all of them. Not long left in this qualifying session, and it's Tony Logie who's drawn first blood with a pole position time of 2:27.6. That's a good gap between the rest of them so far. No one else in the 2:27s as of yet, but plenty of time for this man here, Josh McNabb, to try and do his best and get that first place.
Do you want to know what's really weird is the fact that those 2 were doing that faster than that in the race.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly it's exactly what we mean. You know, they're qualifying laps or the race laps. That is just how quick these guys are. They just bring it in. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Tony Logie and Aidan Wilson. Aidan's jumped back into the pits there. Don't know if he's going to have enough time to get another lap in, David. I don't think so. Yeah,
that's Tony. Tony is giving up the fight there for qualifying, and you hate to see it. Cameron Evans up into second place though, 2:27.844. He's now 3rd place in the championship, and what a difference that makes to the dynamic as well, because he needs to win this race to get back into this. But more than that, he then needs something to happen to Josh and to Tony.
Yeah, Cameron must win. If he wants to win this title, Cameron must win, and he can do himself a massive favour by going and sticking that white car on pole position. A little bit of traffic in front of him here though. It can aid him initially off the toe, but if he gets stuck behind him in the slower corners, it could all end in tears. So Cameron's, the pressure's on here. He's got to win. He has no other option.
Wow, and I think that is John Glover that's actually up in front of him just now. So a little bit of a toe from John, but given that John was about 2 seconds off the pace on that last one, he's going to have to really be on it right now, and I think that's maybe compromising Cameron. Yeah,
I think this is the part of the lap, David, where it is going to hurt him. Yeah, he's getting the benefit of the straights, and again, look there, like he's taking a very wide line there, Cameron Evans, perhaps just been forced a little bit outright. John Glover, again, that yellow car, a little bit unsettled at the back end. Now both of them make their way down the cornered straight. Cameron's wanting past more than anything. Look at that, he's getting a slipstream now, but now he's darted out and to the side of him, trying to overtake on a qualifying lap. It is more often than not going to cost you, but the initial qualifying event in the Xbox, Tony Logie showed us that you can get caught up with cars and still go on and put a very fast time on the board.
Oh, not like that!
Oh, he's not going to get a fast time like that.
Oh, look at that. That was just so silly.
Yeah.
So silly. Josh McNabb then is going to have to watch for this wreckage out there. That was just so unnecessary from the 2 of them. The thing is, from my point of view, right, John Glover is on a qualifying lap of his own. He is perfectly entitled to put his car where he wants to. I mean, you've got to make sure you get the move done to make that happen. I just don't understand that at all. It all rests on this young man right now then. Josh McNabb is realistically the only man who can put paid to any of the thoughts right now. He was able to do the 2:27s earlier on in the race. He did a 2:28.084 for qualifying so far. Into Murray's Corner then for the final time, and out of Murray's Corner, what can Josh McNabb do? He's going to be the final man surely across the line. Josh McNabb goes top, 2:27.482, 1/10 ahead of Tony Logie, and my goodness me, are we set up for an absolute firecracker of a final.
Absolutely stunning lap there from Josh McNabb. Tony Logie, a 10th and a bit behind. Now, this is the thing, David. Cameron Evans is now in 3rd place. He's 3 tenths off. Just clear your head here, Cameron. What happens has happened. It's gone here in qualifying. You had a little bit of a coming together. The first race hasn't gone to plan. This is it. Just bring it now. Clear head, game face on, and go for it. You can still win this championship. But Josh McNabb and Tony Logie are both in your way. This is going to be a cracker, David.
Wow! Oh my goodness me. 6 o'clock start for the final time tonight. 9 cars take to the grid. It's Josh McNabb and Tony Logie on row 1. Cameron Evans and John Glover on row 2. It's then going to be Callum Reid and then Andrew Gilman on row 3. Angus Scrivener alongside Cormac Patterson on row 4. And at the back of the grid, Aidan Wilson. My heart is in my chest right now. I am so excited for this. This is just, I mean, what better way can you finish the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship than bringing it all down to the final race? 3 contenders with 8 points.
Absolutely, and the race start here, David, is going to be absolutely crucial as well. Can Tony Logie, Cameron Evans, Josh McNabb, can they get away cleanly and go on to fight it out for a race win here?
Right, Cormac Patterson wants to hear something for the race start. It's going to happen. We're going to do the old Darrell Wall trip. Right. The cars are sinking to the grid then. We've got 5 seconds. The lights start to come onto the bridge for the final time tonight at Bathurst. Biggity, 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 boys. Let's go racing. A great start for Josh McNabb, but it's side by side with Tony Logie, who also gets a great start there. And there goes Cameron Evans trying to make amends for that poor qualifying. Here we go, Andy. Here we go.
Yep, great start there from Josh McNabb. He's got away cleanly. Tony Logie, though, a little flash of the lights there. I wonder if he's going to try and make a move into Griffin's Bend here. But then you've got Cameron Evans hot on the heels of both of them in that white car and in 3rd place. Great start, though, I have to say again. Look, it's Josh McNabb. He's taking a little bit of an inside in defensive line. That's boxing Tony Logie in there a little bit, so he's just backed out and sticking behind that car as they make their way in towards the cutting. Cameron Evans, is he going to perhaps have a move? I think he's also just going to sit tight. So it is, as it stands, we have Josh McNabb in the lead of this.
Oh, there's contact!
The pair of them, David.
Oh my goodness me! They've taken each other out. Cameron Evans and Tony Logie. Oh my goodness me, that hands things on a plate right now to Josh McNabb. Can you believe it?
Oh, that is absolutely incredible. The first lap of the race and 2 of your championship contenders come together. Absolutely incredible. That has put Tony Logie into 9th place in the back of the pack as things stand. And then, oh, David, that is absolutely incredible. Cameron Evans back in that familiar 6th place. He could still perhaps recover. Got that car a little bit wild there, but this is absolutely incredible. Josh McNabb has a massive opportunity to go on and win this championship.
Wow, absolutely incredible, incredible stuff, Andy. I just, of all the people to get involved in that, it always seems to be Cameron Evans getting himself caught up in other people's accidents.
Yeah, it's happened there. It's absolutely incredible stuff there. Just both cars, I mean, they're coming out the corner, and it's because it's a little bit uphill as well. It's not as if they're going at any great speed in the grand scheme of things, but 2 cars have managed to collide. They've taken out the rest of the pack as well, of course, so that's had a real bit of a
oh my goodness me!
There's a car upside down!
What on earth was that? That looked like it was Aidan Wilson. Tony Logie managed to get himself. Now, what is going on here? That was Aidan Wilson and Cormac Patterson involved in that one. Tony Logie is now back up into 4th place, and Cameron Evans is up into 3rd.
Oh, we said you couldn't call this in. I tell you what, you could not write this race, and this is only the 2nd lap. Absolutely incredible, and all in the meantime, you've got Angus Scrivener in that blue car. He's now in 2nd place of this race.
Incredible, incredible stuff right now. This is just heart in the mouth action right now. Tony Logie desperately trying to catch up to the back of the the chasing, the hunting Cameron Evans. Cameron Evans could take second place out of this. And if he does, he jumps himself all the way up, I believe, into second place in the championship. We'll have to see how the permutations are going on, because I've got the old spreadsheet right now. Oh, and into the wall again goes Cameron Evans. He is really not helping himself right now. And that allows Angus Scrivener to come back round the outside there. And I'll tell you what, Cameron Evans is Cameron Evans' own worst enemy right now.
Yeah, we spoke about it in the build up to this one. We know how quick Cameron is, but it's just he's getting himself all caught up in drama, that's for sure. All the meanwhile, we now have Tony Logie in 4th place of this race. That gap between him and the race leader is 9 seconds though, so he is going to be hoping that there is a little bit of drama up the road and he can then be there to pick up the pieces. But it's Josh McNabb with a 5 and a bit second gap between now Cameron Evans in second place. So Tony Logie now has got his sights firmly set on that blue car of Angus Scrivener to try and go on to win this championship. With a little over 5 minutes left in this session, it's still all to play for.
He doesn't need to though, because by my calculations, right, we'll get the current standings off because they're completely irrelevant right now. As we see, that looks like Tony Logie with a connection issue again. Has Tony Logie this? Oh no, he's back. Right, that's fine. I can breathe a sigh of relief. My goodness. Right, Tony Logie is he's still in second place in the championship.
And he's off the track, David. He's off the track there. He's certainly pushing. I
think he's struggling. Oh, and Cameron Evans back down into 3rd place.
Wow. Angus Scrivener certainly having a strong race, to say the least. It's a really good couple of laps here from him. Cameron Evans will be furious. Because he knows all in the meantime that Josh McNabb is pulling away and disappearing into the sunset. So this is the pressure is certainly on Cameron. He really wants to try and get a move on. But Angus Scrivener, they're fighting for race position. He's quite entitled to do it.
He's given it some.
Yeah, I mean, and there we go. Cameron has now got to move through, but yeah, Angus is going to try and get a cutback here going into this corner, because he gets a little bit of slipstream as well, of course, so he's quite entitled to try and throw that blue car up the inside going into Griffin's Bend. But Cameron Evans, this has been absolute drama for him. He looks like he has now got that second place secure, so barring a coming together between him and the barriers, it looks like he can now turn his attention towards the track in front and not have to look into the rear view mirrors quite so much. But then again, he's going to hit that barrier again, David. It seems to be lap after lap after lap. He hits that part of the barrier in particular, but again lives to fight another day.
Wow, I just don't know where to even look right now, because have a look at that. Tony Logie is now just 3.5 seconds behind Cameron Evans, and Cameron Evans has got penalties. That could change things as well. Cameron Evans and Tony Logie have got 1 second penalty, so that could put them down behind Angus Scrivener behind them there. So this is just, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Absolutely incredible. And now if you're Josh McNabb, do you need to push to the max? I would say probably not. However, look at that last lap on the board, a 2:27.7. It's not as if he's backing off a little bit and just bringing that car home. He wants to finish this one in style. He wants to finish this one with as much of a gap as possible between him, Cameron Evans, Angus Scrivener and Tony Logie. So this has been an incredible finale, and it's certainly not over yet.
No, it certainly is not, as the gap is now 3.5 seconds, so going up between Cameron Evans and Tony Logie. But as it stands, I believe Tony Logie still can secure second place in the championship by staying in 4th place. But there's your race leader, Josh McNabb, with 2 minutes 44 left to go on the board. I think we're going to get another 2 laps for sure out of this one, because he's going to be in with a 2:27 again. The pace that he has shown is just absolutely unrelenting.
Yeah, absolutely is. You know, Josh is really he's been great throughout the season, but he's really turned on the last couple of events here. He's again, that's a 2:27.7. Again, look at that for consistency. There's not even a tenth of a second between those last couple of laps. All the meanwhile, he's got a gap of almost 8 seconds between him and Cameron Evans. But Tony Logie in that green car currently in 4th place, 2 and a bit seconds between him and Angus Scrivener up the road. But so I mean, Tony again, we know he's capable of reeling those 2 cars in and moving his way up the leaderboard. So this is going to be an absolutely stunning finish to the final race here in this Xbox One Championship.
2.9 seconds is the gap between Cameron Evans and Tony Logie for second and fourth place. Remember that Cameron Evans has also got a 1 second time penalty, and if Angus Scrivener can get himself up to there, that will allow him to leapfrog himself up into second place. But the pair of them have got 1 second time penalties, and look at just how fast Tony Logie is compared to Cameron Evans, a whole 1.2 seconds faster on that last lap round. Oh, this is built up so nicely. 2 seconds is now the gap between the two of them, and Tony Logie is on an absolute mission right now, Andy.
He is, but he's got to get past Angus Scrivener on this lap, I would say, if he wants to have any shot at having a fight with Cameron Evans. So let's see if he can make it round this time. As we go into the S, is a tricky part of the lap. It's almost impossible to overtake, really, coming in here. So it looks like his best possible chance is going to be after Forest Elbow and into Conrod Straight. There's not a lot separating them, though. Certainly looking to having a little bit of a nibble there as Angus Scrivener back into that blue car, getting all loose. This is where Tony's going to try and jump into the slipstream and get that move done.
Wow, the closing speed that he's got right now is absolutely incredible, and it looks like Angus Scrivener weaving one way, then the other, not going to let him get any room at all, and it's going to be Tony Logie around the outside of the chase here. One of the fastest corners after the Conrod Straight through the right-hander then. Oh, there's contact, and Angus Scrivener almost wipes himself out. How on earth did Tony Logie do that? Because 9 times out of 10, it's Tony Logie's car in that position that gets wiped out, and now the gap is just 1.1 seconds between Cameron Evans and Tony Logie, and this is now for bragging rights. Meanwhile, your race leader Josh McNabb comes across the line to win the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship and take the championship. Wow, what a race. So he obviously slowed down just enough. He slowed down by 6 seconds to make sure that clock would tick over. Cameron Evans finishes in second place on the track, but will finish in third place in the championship, because it's going to be Angus Scrivener in third place and Tony Logie will take second place on the championship. Callum Reid in third place, in fifth place. It's going to be Andrew Gilman in sixth, John Glover in seventh, Cormac Patterson eventually comes across the line, and then ninth place for Aidan Wilson. My goodness me, Andy, what a race.
Absolutely stunning finish to that one. Josh McNabb, many congratulations to him for a fantastic season and a great drive there here at Bathurst. Again, very clever driving as well towards the end to slow down and reduce the need for another lap there. Excellent drive for him. He'll be delighted with that, and a really deserving winner here in this Xbox Championship.
Awesome stuff. So confirmation then, Josh McNabb takes the win from Cameron Evans in second place and Tony Logie in third, Callum Reid in fourth place, Andrew Gilman in fifth, John Glover in sixth place, seventh place is Cormac Patterson, and then eighth place for Aidan Wilson. And just to confirm once more, your championship title winners for the inaugural SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship on PlayStation 4 is Kenny Brewster, and Josh McNabb takes the Xbox title. Oh my goodness me, that is us for tonight, Andy, and for the entire season. Let's take a little moment then to reflect, because it has been absolutely awesome, hasn't it?
As there's been some brilliant driving across both platforms, David. It's been a real pleasure to watch both of these championships unfold. There's been drama both on and off the track as well, of course, because part of the beauty of getting into these finals is ensuring that everything behind the scenes for the drivers goes smoothly. There's no disconnects, there's nothing like that. You're just here at the right time, you're in and you bring it. And it's been a brilliant championship. I've certainly enjoyed it, and I know a lot of people have really enjoyed following this one as well. And it's been a real privilege and a pleasure to watch this season unfold.
Yeah, it's been brilliant getting to have yourself along, Andy, and Tom Davis as well, joining us midway through the season. An excellent addition. The pair of you have been a very, very welcome addition to the commentary booth. And yeah, I'm just so happy that we had somebody that we can share in all the laughs and the excitement with. So on behalf of everyone that's been watching, thank you, and thank Tom for joining us here on the virtual commentary booth. And just before we sign off, Andy, what's kind of stood out to you? What can you remember out of the season?
I think Le Mans was a great spectacle. Really enjoyed that. I think that was really nice to see. But for me, I think the highlight, and I know this sounds like such a cliche, but it's just been the way this championship's brought everybody together. It's been brilliant in such difficult times, when I know lots of people are going through so many different challenges. This championship has been the real consistency throughout it. It's been a great way just to come in on a Wednesday and then come in on the Sunday as well and enjoy some fantastic racing across both platforms with some great drivers. So it's been a real joy from start to finish.
Well, thank you very much, Andy Alston. Ladies and gentlemen, that is us for the season. We hope you've had a fantastic time. On behalf of everyone here at the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Championship, we have to say a massive thank you to our season sponsors, to Torque Raceware, to Knockhill Racing Circuit, to the SMTA, the Scottish Motor Trade Association, and to Track Scotland, as well as to all the guys and girls at the SMRC who have been working behind the scenes, and Michael Weddle to make all of this happen. On behalf of everyone here, myself, David Christie, at Camber Media, have a wonderful end to your weekend. It's been a wonderful weekend for Scottish Motorsport. Some cracking results at Le Mans, great results at the British Touring Car Championship, had the World Rally Championship as well, and you've seen two brand new champions being crowned here as well. Take care, have a wonderful night, and we will see you not too soon from now.